Hello everyone, I am from the department ECE. I am pursuing my first BTech in Srinivasa Ramanujan Institute of Technology in Anantapur. Today I am going to present on the topic Active and Passive Voice, Introduction to Voice in Grammar. Voice in grammar shows whether the subject performs or receives the action. There are two main types, active voice and passive voice. Understanding these helps improve clarity and variety in writing. What is active voice? In active voice, the subject performs the action of the verb. It generally makes sentences clearer and more direct. Active voice is preferred in most forms of writing of clarity. What is passive voice? In passive voice, the subject receives the action of the verb. The door of the action may be omitted or included in a prepositional phrase. Passive voice can be useful when the focus is on the action or the recipient. Structure of active voice. The typical structure is subject plus verb plus object. Example, the chef cooked the meal. This structure emphasizes who is performing the action. Structure of passive voice. The typical structure is object plus form of to be, past participle plus by plus subject. Example, the meal was cooked by the chef. The focus shifts to the object or action rather than the doer. When to use active voice? Use active voice to create clear and concise sentences. It is ideal for most writing, including reports and essays. Active voice makes sentences more engaging and easier to understand. When to use passive voice? Use passive voice to emphasize the action or the recipient. It is usually useful when the doer is unknown or unimportant. Passive voice is common in scientific and formal writing. Examples of active voice. The teacher explains the lesson. The cat chased the mouse. The company launched a new product. Example of passive voice. The lesson is explained by the teacher. The mouse was chased by the cat. A new product was launched by the company. Converting active voice to passive voice. Identify the object in the active sentence. Move the object to the subject position. Like change the verb to the appropriate form of to be plus participle. Converting passive voice to active voice. Identify the agent in the passive sentence if present. Move the agent to the subject position. Change the verb to its active form. Common mistakes of voice. Using passive voice unnecessarily can make sentences wordy. Overusing passive voice can lead to ambiguity. Always check if active voice can make the sentence clearer. Tips for using active voice. Prefer active voice for most writing purposes. Ensure the subject performs the action clearly. Use active voice to create more dynamic sentences. Tips for using passive voice. Use passive voice when the doer is unknown or unimportant. Employ passive voice to emphasize the action or recipient. Avoid overusing passive voice to keep Writing lively, active voice the differences between the active voice and passive voice. Active voice emphasizes the doer of the action. Passive voice emphasizes the receiver on the action itself. Choosing between them depends on what you want to highlight. Practice exercise 1. Convert the active sentence. The scientist published the report. Convert the passive sentence. The report was published by the scientists. Practice helps improve understanding of both structures. Practice exercise 2. Change to active. The cake was baked by Mary, and when it is changed to passive, it can be written as Mary baked the cake. Review and practice reinforce learning. Summary of key points. Active voice is direct, clear and useful, preferred. Passive voice shifts focus on the action or recipient. Both voices have appropriate uses depending on context. Final tips. Use active voice for most everyday and professional writing. Reserve passive voice for specific situations where emphasis is needed. Always revise to ensure clarity and precision in your sentences. Rules for changing voice. First, identify subject, verb, and the object. Then make the object the new subject. Practice regularly to become proficient in using both voices effectively. Conclusion. Active voice and passive voice are both useful parts of English grammar. Active voice makes sentences strong and clear, while passive voice is helpful in formal and special situations. A good learner should understand both forms and know when to use each one properly. Mastering voice improves grammar, communication, and writing skills. Thank you.